I interviewed you 4 years ago, I guess it was, and the question that I didn't ask you that I really want to ask is, like, we've got all this stuff happening with legalization. Where do people go to smoke? Are those laws going to change, and how do you feel about that?
One of the major issues right now for Canadians and consumers of cannabis is that there's no legal place to consume it unless you own your own home and in some limited areas. But for the vast majority of people who rent or don't have proper stable housing, they have nowhere to go. In British Columbia and other areas, we're even finding regulations and laws being put into place that ban you from telling people where to use cannabis. That's preventing novice users and regular users from having a safe consumption site with knowledgeable staff to show them how to use cannabis safely, to deal with anyone who overconsumes, and to create a safe space where people can find like-minded cannabis enthusiasts. We need to address the mental illness crisis in Canada with a lot of different actions, and one of them is to allow cannabis consumers to come together. There's actually a charter rights violation taking place when we can't tell people where to find cannabis users or where to go use it. So we have lawyers lined up to, unfortunately, go back to court because the government refuses to allow us to meet our like-minded friends and associate freely. So that's something we'll have to work on, but Cannabis Culture Lounge has been operating for a very long time, and we intend to expand and to create a model of what consumption spaces should look like. It does take a bit of courage, but at least the risk isn't too high, and we're hoping that a lot of medical cannabis consumers and regular social consumers will have places where they can find education, community, culture, and all of the information that's not allowed to be given to them in the retail stores.
And the other thing is, like, with the news, like people can't even read the news. I mean, people that are under 21, they can't read a story about in the Georgia Strait. Like, go online, you have to go say, well, you can pretty much say that you're 21 anyways. But
another major problem with the cannabis laws and regulations right now is that cannabis information is being banned from being given to anyone under the age of 19. So a lot of websites are creating age gates, but this is useless. First of all, it just takes away the likelihood of adults going through that burdensome process, and it encourages young people to lie about their age just to get access to cannabis information. And one of the most worrying issues that came up recently was that the librarians of schools have written to the government saying that high school students aren't being allowed to access newspapers anymore. Postmedia and the newspaper publishers stopped delivering newspapers to schools just because there might be marijuana advertisements. This is appalling, it's destroying information, and unfortunately Health Canada isn't joking around. Cannabis Culture just received a Health Canada warning for running an ad about cannabis accessories in the Georgia Strait newspaper. So freedom of speech issues are huge, but we also have compelled speech issues. With respect to the packaging, we're being forced to put information on it that says it's dangerous and addictive, but that's scaring people away from using something that's safer than alcohol and safer than opioids. So we need to get rid of that stigma and deal with the free speech issues. It all ties in together, and it's a major issue. So legalization's got its flaws.
And nobody's talking about the packaging being a danger to the environment.
The packaging crisis is absurd. It doesn't make sense that you have to take what used to fit in a basic baggie or glass jar and put it into a ton of different packages with cardboard labels and this and that. It's so wasteful and unnecessary, but it's more of the government's stigma. They don't want people to see cannabis. They don't want them to be attracted to it. They don't want them to like it. And Bill Blair, who was in charge of legalization, said that from the beginning. We don't like it and we don't want people to use it. We want to restrict and limit access to cannabis. So they're doing what they said they're going to do. It's unfortunate, but thankfully the cannabis plant and the people who love it cannot be contained by prison walls or barriers, and prohibition failed before, so hopefully it'll keep failing.
Yeah, when you see an event like this, you just say you're not going to stop the avalanche from happening, really.
Mark Emery always said, plant the seeds of freedom to overgrow the government, and he started that 26 years ago, and here we are. We overgrew the government. They're just trying to eliminate what they don't like, but they can't. It just means that a lot of people suffer in the meantime, unfortunately, but that also means it's an opportunity to bring together all these victims of Prohibition and become survivors of Prohibition and make sure that we change things for better. So that's what I'm ready to do this year, so excited to be here to network with all the other like-minded people who want to make things better for everyone.
Thank you very much for speaking to me.
Of course, thank you
Great.
so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you.